my channel. Today we're doing an epic Q&A. I asked you guys over on Instagram, what are your burning questions when it comes to dieting, maintaining, low carb, keto police? There's so many rules out there. I kind of wanted to give you my opinion on all of that and make this video not just a Q&A, but a burst of motivation wherever you're at on your diet and weight loss journey. If you're new to my channel, my name is Hart. I'm a mindset and weight loss coach. I help clients every single day lose their weight for the last time and create a healthy lifestyle instead of all these quick fix diets that absolutely do not work. If they worked, we all would not be here right now looking for information about how to lose weight. So that's why my method with creating a healthy lifestyle, really digging deep and repairing our mindset and creating really long-lasting healthy habits is the way to go. If you ever want to work with me, the links are all down in the description box. But let's get on into the Q&A. I got so many good questions on Instagram that I really can't wait to answer them all for you guys now. Quick little disclaimer, I am not a medical doctor. Definitely don't take a YouTube video off the internet as medical advice. Definitely any of these questions, talk to your doctor. These are just my opinions and my opinions alone. So the first question I'm gonna answer is one that I get literally all the time. And the question is, do you consider your morning coffee with creamer as breaking your fast? So for any of you who are new here, what I do typically is I will have one coffee in the morning and I will fast until lunchtime. So I'll fast until about 12:30, 1 o'clock and only have a coffee in the morning. The thing is, in my coffee, what I typically put in it is 1 packet of Truvia and a 0 sugar creamer. So I usually do about 3 tablespoons, I would say, of creamer and 1 packet of the Truvia. I've been doing this for forever. Like throughout my whole weight loss journey that I just had after I had my daughter in March 2020. I'm down almost 70 pounds now total after starting that third weight loss journey. And what I've learned is that you have to follow your instincts, follow your own body, do what you feel comfortable with. And that is my message for this whole video. So everyone always tells me that breaks your fast, that breaks your fast. You're not fasting. You know, I don't care. Because you know what? I can't give up that coffee. Or I didn't think I could, but that'll be a little update for in a few minutes from now. But I couldn't give up that coffee. It was like the last thing that I had. I was like, okay, I'm dieting. I'm, going hardcore low carb again. I'm like, let me just have my coffee, everybody. So really, it didn't matter what anybody said. It didn't matter that it technically breaks my fast. It didn't matter. I'm just not a breakfast person anymore. So I like to fast until lunch. That's my first meal. So did it break my fast? Does it break my fast? Yeah. Do I care? No. Does it work for me? Yeah. Did I still lose weight? Yeah. So to me, it's like if it works for you and it's giving you results, why change it? My little update is that as of yesterday, I started drinking black coffee in the morning only because I wanted to challenge myself and really do a true fast. So what I started doing is just having plain black iced coffee. I get it from Dunkin' Donuts. It's really good. The McDonald's black iced coffee, oh my gosh, it's delicious. That's probably my #1 favorite. And then if I'm gonna have it at home, I have coconut iced coffee Nespresso pods that I put in my Nespresso machine, which are great. And then I also love, if you're gonna do a store-bought iced coffee, love the Starbucks unsweetened with the green top. That's probably my favorite for all of those different options. My main point for this question is, does it break the fast? Yeah, but I also think we need to do what we feel comfortable with and what we want to do at the end of the day. And there will be a time, like I couldn't give up my coffee for so long, and now I'm ready to. So don't stress out if you're not ready yet. Always go on your own terms, always go on your own time, and who cares what anybody else thinks? It literally doesn't matter. Which actually brings me to this next question. I think this is a funny one to just throw in here. Someone said, why do you eat gross American cheese? Emoji with the smacking head. It's not real cheese and other cheese is so yummy. Listen, you do you. I laugh at comments like this. I get these a million times a day actually on YouTube. Everybody needs to do what they like, and I'm not gonna like the same food as you and you're not gonna like the same food as me, but who cares? Who cares? We're all so worried about what other people are thinking and the rules, the keto rules. We'll get into that a little bit later in the video, but we all care so much about what other people are doing. But really, who cares? What this person eats doesn't affect me. What this person who wrote this comment, what they eat every day, like I don't care because it doesn't affect me at all. Literally, you do you. Have fun. You don't like American cheese? Don't eat it. I love it. And I will always laugh at comments like this. I will laugh at pretty much every comment. You have to not care what other people think. And it gets better. It's like a muscle that you have to, work. The more you work it, the better it'll get. But really, no one else's opinion matters except your own. Okay, the next question is, can you lose weight and eat about 70 to 100 carbs a day? Absolutely. Absolutely. When I work with my clients one-to-one and even in my group masterminds, we talk about this a lot. So basically, without going too deep into it, you've got to figure out, what do you like to eat? How do you eat now? And how can you adapt to how you eat now, tweak it a little bit so that you start getting results? Whether that's a little bit of a calorie deficit or a little bit of a carb deficit. So figure out your baseline, figure out how you eat normally, and figure out how you can introduce a deficit to that. You might find that my carbs per day, even though I cycle, so right now I'm carb cycling between 25 net carbs per day and 45 net carbs per day, grams. I cycle back and forth every other day. I kind of do that just without even trying now. It's kind of like second nature. But for you, that might be too low. You might cycle between 50 and 75 or 75 and 100, and you might be able to get results just by tweaking it that little bit. You don't need to go super, super low and into the keto territory. Do trial and error with you and your body. Figure out what works best for you. And then whatever works, keep doing it. Get results, stick to the plan, get more results, keep sticking to the plan, get to your goal, maintain, love your life. That's it. Next question. Do you do keto or mainly do low carb? Do you stay under a certain amount of carbs? That kind of was just answered with the carb cycling question. So I'm carb cycling right now between 25 and 45 net carbs per day, and I feel like that works perfectly for me. Some people love keto. Some people need a little bit more carbs. That's fine. Like I said, trial and error, figuring out what works for you. I would say I'm living a low carb lifestyle. I would not say I'm trying to do keto. I do have keto days for sure when I eat really low carb and I'm probably in ketosis, but I don't check for ketosis. I don't venture into that territory because for my mindset to stay on track with my lifestyle, if I think about things like that too much, I get overwhelmed and anxious, and then I don't stick to the plan and I get really flustered, and I find that when I do that, I stress out, stress hormones get released, and I gain weight. So instead, I keep it really simple. I just do what feels good. I eat low carb, do a low carb lifestyle, let it be easy, and lose weight, maintain. That's exactly how I do it. This is a great one. Do you count and track your calories or keep a food journal? I used to. People ask me all the time, how do you track? How do you track? Now it's literally second nature. I do it in my head, and that's completely honest. But I've been also doing this on and off, not during pregnancies, but I started in 2013. So I've been doing low carb for a long time, almost 10 years, which blows my mind. So when people ask me oh, how many carbs is this? How many carbs is that? I just know inside my head because I eat a lot of the same foods. So it's almost like second nature to me now. So back in the day, I did use the Lose It app when it was free. And then I've also used MyFitnessPal, again, when it was free. So I don't know, I don't use them now. I don't know if the free versions are still worth it, or even if you're able to get free versions. But I also know that my clients love to use Carb Manager. Those are all great. If you like apps, I would definitely check them out. But for me, when I was actually doing this and having to keep track of things, I just used a pen and paper. And I know this is gonna sound wild, but I would literally just write down I don't know, if I was eating breakfast, I would just be okay, eggs, cheese, salsa. And I knew how many carbs that was, I don't know, 2 or 3 carbs. So I would just know. So I'm okay, I'm on track. And then for lunch, I'd have another 10 carbs. So I'd be up to 13. And then I'm okay, for dinner, I can have 10 or 15. And then I kind of knew based on that, how many carbs to have per day. And I think the less you complicate it, the more you're likely to follow it and the better results you're gonna get because your mindset is gonna be totally in it to win it. When you overcomplicate things and you stress out a lot, it only makes the journey harder and more of a struggle. And honestly, you don't have to struggle to get results. That's what I teach on too. Let it be easy. Let dieting be easy. Just like anything else, it's all about how you think about it. It's all mindset at the end of the day. This is also a really good one. Is it okay to just live normally and substitute all the things for keto substitutions, like keto versions? So it all depends. You still have to be conscious of the actual food that you're putting in your body. If you're eating a keto bar for breakfast and then, keto bread for lunch and then some keto tortillas and then some keto ice cream and then a keto fat bomb at the end of the night, all these things with these fake sugar alcohols in them, and then the breads and the tortillas, and you're constantly just eating all of these keto things that just have keto on the label, I would think twice before you do it that way. What I would do instead is try to clean up your diet as best as you can. So if you are eating a lot of carbs right now, look at how many carbs you're eating per day and just kind of decrease them a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, until you get to a place where you're seeing results on the scale or in your measurements or in the mirror, you know, any way you track your results. I would clean up your diet versus substituting everything for keto things. And while we're on the topic, I think that sugar alcohols, some people are affected greatly by them and some people, it doesn't faze them. They can eat them and they can still get results and everything's fine. For me, I know that during my last weight loss journey, I ran into a huge plateau when I was relying heavily on the keto bars, the keto protein bars, but then also keto snack bars, like the keto Snickers and things like that, the elevation bars, and then the keto ice creams and just keto anything sweet treat. They taste good, some of them, most of them, but to me, I felt like when I was relying on them every single day as like, well, I did really good today, I get to have this keto treat, I plateaued. And as soon as I cut back and then eventually cut out all of those things, my weight dropped so fast. Because I was eating so clean, but I was eating all these sugar alcohols and they were just messing up what I think is just like messing up my digestion. So what I would advise for you to do is if you're going to start the keto or low carb lifestyle, look at how many carbs you're eating now and see where you can kind of tweak it. So if you can add in a couple of lettuce buns, or maybe instead of pasta, use zoodles, or do hearts of palm noodles, you know, use cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. Try to clean up your diet by cleaning it up, not necessarily subbing things for keto versions. I love keto bread, I love keto tortillas, but I don't eat them every day and I don't rely on any of those things, but I do use them in my diet because that's what keeps me on track. So do what you need to do to stay on track and do what you need to do to feel good. And if anything doesn't feel good, stop doing it. Okay, someone else said, I'm 65, can I do keto? Why not? Why not? And anytime people tell me like, well, I'm this age, should I do this? Whatever it is, you know, I always tell you, consult your doctor, see if it's a wise choice for your lifestyle and your health. Obviously, they know you better than anyone, you know, but I think too, if you are cleared to do it, I say go for it. Me, I think low carb living is just so adaptable for everyone. That's why I love it so much. I mean, I eat a lot of fresh vegetables, in-season fruits and berries, and then I love my protein. I eat lean protein now. I've cut way back on the pork products and the beef products. I haven't cut them out completely, but I have cut back a lot. So the majority of my diet is chicken breast, ground chicken, chicken thighs, ground turkey, and a lot of seafood, a lot of shellfish. That's just what my diet looks like now, and I feel the best I've ever felt. I get so many comments. People are like, you look so great. And I'm like, thank you. I feel amazing. I can honestly say I just turned 37 in June and I've got 2 kids and I feel like my brain might be frazzled a lot of the time because it's just so busy around here, but I honestly feel in my body the best I've ever felt in my entire life. So I really hope that conveys to you guys, and I'm just showing you what works for me so that you can take that and say, wow, if she can do it, I can do it. And just have such motivation about everything and anything having to do with weight loss. I think that anybody can achieve any goal they have. It's just about taking the right actionable steps and repairing your mindset. Repairing your mindset, because anything that in your mind says you can't accomplish your goal is a lie. It's a limiting belief. It's a negative belief. You've probably been carrying it for a long time in your brain. I had so many of them that I had to work through and repair my mindset, but you can totally do it. If you're watching this right now, what is your main goal? Say it out loud. I'm waiting. You can accomplish it. Whatever it is, it doesn't even matter. I know for a fact that you can accomplish it. If it's something that you want bad enough, you can and will accomplish it. Great question. How many steps a day do you get? And do you exercise? Guys, I swear, I do not exercise. I actually despise exercising. If you've seen any of my previous videos, I tried to exercise. It did not go over well. And I've got the equipment downstairs. I have the Peloton app to do workouts and everything. I just despise exercising, so I just don't do it. Maybe that will change in the future, maybe it won't. But guess what? It doesn't even matter. So to me, I feel like since that doesn't work for me, I just have a daily step goal. So I try to get 10,000 steps per day. That is my goal. And I know that if I eat well and I hit that step goal, I drink my water, then I get results. And I'm able to maintain my results effortlessly if I do those couple of things. And fasting, I think, goes into that. So those are like my 4 pillars. Eating a low carb lifestyle, fasting until lunchtime, drinking 120 ounces of water, and getting 10,000 steps. That is it. That's my magical equation. But listen, that is gonna be different for every single person. That's why I rewind back to the beginning of the video. You have to figure out what works best for you. Who cares what works for everybody else? It's great to get suggestions, of course, and that's just what works for me. But take that as, okay, what are my 4 pillars gonna be? How am I going to figure out how many steps I need, what kind of food I need to eat, how much water I need to drink? Am I gonna fast or am I not gonna fast? You know, those are all really cool things that you can figure out and figure out what works best for you. And then once you figure out what works best for you guys, I get so excited and so pumped up because once you figure out what works best for you, you've cracked the code. That's how I feel. And then you just keep going and going and going and getting more results and getting more results, loving your life, being healthy, and literally getting to your goal weight and just maintaining there, which is what I've been doing for months and months and months now. So I walk the walk, I talk the talk. If I can do this, anyone can do this. Okay, one of the questions was, what's your favorite low carb pasta? So I wanted to show you guys, this is the box. I usually just open it, but then I keep it in like a freezer bag so that it stays fresh. But this I get from Aldi. You can also get it, I get it from Giant. They have it all over. You can also order it from Amazon if you can't find it in your store. But I love this black bean spaghetti. So what I like to do is, 1 serving of this is 2 ounces of dried pasta. So when I cook it, I cook 2 ounces and just split it between Jay and I. So it's actually like half of a serving technically, but I feel like that's plenty. So the full serving for Jay and I together is 19 carbs, 11 fiber. So 8 grams of carbs. And then when I split it between the 2 bowls, that means he's getting 4 net carbs and I'm getting 4 net carbs. This is my absolute favorite one right now for 4 net carbs. I just love it. But if you're trying to be really, really clean, my other favorites are obviously Hearts of Palm noodles. Those are definitely the best veggie noodle, I feel. I do love zoodles. What I don't like about zoodles is the amount of water that still comes out of them and gets into your dinner plate. So I'm partial to those 3. Those are probably my top 3 right now. But I know kohlrabi noodles are like the new thing. I'm trying to find them. I can't find them anywhere. So once I find them, I will definitely try them. But yeah, those are my top 3 pastas right now. Carbs and seasoning, someone wrote. I'm not eating 2 teaspoons of fajita mix, so how do I count it? You know, a lot of people will say, and we'll get into the keto police section because why not? So a lot of people will say, don't use the packets of seasoning mix. And I get that. There's ingredients in there that we might not want to eat and that aren't the best, etc. Then make your own. There's plenty of recipes out there right now where you can make your own taco seasoning, make your own fajita mix, blackening spices. You know, if you're ever, hesitant to use a packet of seasoning from the store, make your own. It's so easy, and just keep it in a mason jar and it'll last you a while. But what I found is that I've done it both ways. I make my own. I've got recipes on my blog for homemade seasoning mix. But listen, it doesn't always happen like that. I don't always have every single ingredient to re-up my homemade seasoning. So yeah, I use a packet. And when I use a packet, I feel like it does not affect my weight loss journey at all. It didn't affect my weight loss journeys since 2013, and it doesn't affect my maintenance either. So here's the thing. You do you, and you do the best that you can every single day. And that's the best you can do. That's it. That's the best we can do for ourselves. Are we going to make every single person out there happy? No. Are people going to find things wrong with what we do in life? Every single day. And the internet, keto communities, keto Facebook groups, which yes, I am a part of, they are just super judgmental sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. And I feel like all that does is discourage people. So what I want to promote, and what I want everyone to take away from this video, is do the best that you can every single day with every single choice that you make when it comes to your food. If you can make your own seasoning homemade, awesome. If you can't, buy it from the store in a packet. No one's judging you. Do the best that you can. I can honestly say that I've done it both ways and it didn't affect me. So guess what? I'm not gonna fix what's not broken, and I'm not gonna care what anybody out there thinks, because at the end of the day, I have to do what's best for me, my lifestyle, my body, my family, my schedule, and my life. So I want all of you to kind of take that to heart too. It doesn't matter who you are, who cares? Do the best that you can. Do I get people commenting, telling me that I'm wrong all the time? Of course. Do I care? No, it's your opinion. You're allowed to have your opinion. And that's kind of how it is. I don't let it bother me. And I don't want you to either. You've got to do the best that you can every day and then move on. Wake up tomorrow and do the best you can the next day. Try to be a little better than the day before. That's it. That should be our job in life for everything. Next question. Being on keto, what are the rules? Because different people seem like they have made up their own rules. You know, it's fine to make up your own rules. That's kind of what I've done. And it's worked for me because I figured out what works for me and my body. But I'm not pushing those rules that I made up for myself on other people. I'm just showing you what's possible for me and how I got my results. I have an issue, I just don't like to see it, I guess you could say, with people making up their own rules and then pushing them onto others, saying, well, I don't do it that way, so you shouldn't do it that way either, and what you're doing is wrong, and things like that. And that's where I think the keto police kind of came about from, is people telling other people what to do and what not to do, and it just raises a lot of conflicting information online. So what I say always is don't listen to anyone, figure out what works for you and your body, and don't care what anyone thinks. Bottom line. So if you get anything from this video, I want you to feel really empowered to not only figure out what works best for you and your body, do trial and error to really figure it all out, get to the aha moment where you're like, yes, it's all clicking together. I know my pillars. I know what works for me. Like, this is great. I'm getting results. I can do this long term. I've figured out my healthy lifestyle. But I also want you to have the mindset of, I'm doing what works for me and I don't care what anybody says. Comment down below if you have a new rejuvenated sense of, let me jump into my weight loss journey and this video motivated you. Let me know down in the comments if it did. I would love to know if this was like motivational content for you. I added a second question box, so I'm gonna go over there now. Do you count calories or just carbs? So for me, I count net carbs per day. Meanwhile, I'm also being conscious of my calories, because you can't eat 5,000 calories on a low carb diet and eat really low carb and expect to not gain weight. That's just the way it is. It's still like, I still feel like calories matter for me. For me. They might not matter for you, but for me, it definitely matters. So I like to keep my calories in check, and by cycling my carbs, I'm naturally cycling my calories. Do you do intermittent fasting and stop eating at a certain time? Yes. So back to what I said at the beginning, I have switched over to black coffee. I'm new to it now, but I'm in it now. Now I'm like ready to give up the sweetened coffee and the creamer coffee in the morning, and I'm just doing black coffee. So black iced coffee, and then I usually eat between 12 and 1 p.m. depending on what I'm doing and what the kids are doing and where we are and everything like that. You guys know how it goes. So yeah, that's like my eating window, and then in the morning. And then at night, we usually eat dinner probably between 5 and 6:30. Like I said, it's always different times. It's never the same. But to me, I don't count my fasting window anymore. I used to like have a timer set on my phone. Oh, gotta stop fasting right now. Like my timer would go off, and then the next morning my timer would go off again, and I'd be like, or my alarm, and be like, oh, you can start eating now. That gave me so much unnecessary like anxiety, I guess you could say. I would be getting up to the close of my eating window, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I better eat something, because if I don't eat now, like I can't eat in an hour, like, and then I would end up eating more at night, just because I knew like in an hour I couldn't eat because my window would be closed. And then same thing in the morning, I'd be staring at my watch, staring at my phone, like, okay, what time is it? Oh my God, I still have another hour before I can eat again. Oh my gosh, I can't make it. It was too much for me. It was too much overwhelm. And if you guys have been following me, or if you're a client of mine, what am I gonna say? If you squeeze your journey, and if you feel overwhelmed and you get that like anxious feeling, your mindset is going in a negative place, and you are not gonna reach your goals. You're not going to see results. It doesn't even matter. You can't force it. So that's why I say make everything effortless, make everything easy, and do what feels good to you. So I turned off all the alarms on my phone, no more timers, no more alarms, and I just did it intuitively. And I found that, okay, if we eat dinner at 5, great. If we eat dinner at 6 or 7, fine. then I just still don't eat until the next day, 12 or 1 o'clock. And that's just how it's been now for over a year, and it was like a weight was lifted. I feel so much better about it. I don't count the time. I just know intuitively, like, okay, I'm eating dinner, I'm done eating dinner, like that's it. And I drink my water so I stay full, and that's it. And I made it easy. So anything in your weight loss journey that feels hard, or you feel like you're like hitting some resistance where you're like, I don't want to do this, or I don't like this, stop doing it. Stop doing it. Find a different way to do it, or think about it in a different way. Those are my 2 ways of tackling that issue. Okay, this person said I lost 40 pounds with low carb keto, but the last 10 pounds won't come off. I cut carbs even lower, but I don't feel good now. Are any tips? Mindset repair. Mindset repair times a million. So if you're ever finding that you're plateaued and you're doing everything right, well, you could also tweak something about your diet. See if you can clean it up anywhere. I wouldn't go lower in carbs. I would maybe up the carbs, but that's something you can do trial and error for yourself, just to play around with it and get yourself some results. But the main thing with plateaus a lot of the time is your mindset. It's all your mindset. Because if you think that losing the last 10 pounds is gonna be the hardest, losing the last 10 pounds will be the hardest. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're also right. It's all your mindset. And the more you let those thoughts dictate your life and you believe them, the last 10 pounds is always the hardest. How many times do people say that? You're gonna believe it, and it's gonna be made true in your life, which could be what's happening here. So what I say is dive deep into mindset repair. But with mindset too, you've got to be open to the fact that your mindset could be the issue. That's always the first step. So if you feel like you're more negative than positive, that could be your problem. But in all of my mentorships, we tackle mindset as the first thing, because you have to do the energetic journey first before you do the actionable steps. If you start a diet and weight loss journey and you're hesitant, or you don't think you're gonna lose weight, or you think, I couldn't do it before, why would this time work? It's just the wrong mindset to go into anything. You've got to go into it with the mindset of, I have a goal, I know I'm gonna reach my goal, and I will get there. Nothing matters. I know that I'm reaching my goal and I believe it. So to get there though, you've got to do the energetic journey first. That's what I promote in all my mentorships. I've got private one-to-one spots available as of right now. And I also have a group mastermind rolling enrollment, 6 months. Really a great way to not only repair your mindset, but have that support system for 6 months of your journey. And it's just gonna be awesome. So if you guys are interested in any of those programs, they're linked down below. You can get more information and can get you in. This Q&A was so much fun. If you guys have any more questions, I try to answer all of my comments on YouTube the best I can. Leave your comments down below, your questions, and we'll get answers for those, or maybe do a follow-up part 2. But I hope from this video you really gained the fact that you can do it. Not only can you accomplish all of your goals, but it doesn't matter what anyone else says or what anyone else is doing. Do you. Do you and what feels good for you, and it will get you the best results. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you really soon with a new video. Bye.